War, the Honorable Pete Hegseth.
Now, America, this is LG again. I want to show you and talk to you about white supremacists. This is the thing that black people have been dealing with in America since 1619, when they brought the first 20 Africans to America. This guy right here, Pete Hegseth, he is a perfect example of what white supremacist is. He idolized Hitler and dictatorship countries. He want to be somebody when he's really nobody. You know, a man that act like this, he got a very small you know what. And he's going to act tough. He's going to act like he's somebody. But he's really weak. He's really a small man. And he don't care nothing about God. All he care about is white nationalists and being able to finally get authority over somebody. But he's just a weak podcaster and someone that was on Fox News. Ain't no black and brown people afraid of this. Because they always tell you, the Bible tells you that you're supposed to be quick to hear. That means that a person that believes in Jesus, he's going to be quick to hear. But he's going to be very, very slow to wrath. Anybody that talk like this guy, he ain't nothing. He ain't nothing but a little man in a suit that kissing Donald Trump butt so he can be in his good grace. God tell us that we don't have to be afraid of someone like that. See, when I was young, when somebody ran their mouth like that, the people told us when people is talking and doing a whole bunch of talking, they weak. Not only is they weak, they jaw weak. Because when you're talking, your jaw is separated, and that's when you're going to get hit in the mouth. That's why when you run your mouth, that's when someone hits you in the mouth. Because your jaw is loose, and it's going to just rattle your brain. Do you see strong people? People that know who they are? People that believe in themselves? They out there on an island all by themselves. They only 10% of the world population. And their population is diminishing every day. But they still think they bad. They still think that they powerful. It ain't like back in the old days when the white supremacist was the only one with weapons, with money in the bank. It ain't like that no more. All races got weapons now. All races can go to the store and buy weapons and buy ammunition. They so stuck in that white supremacy stuff that they can't see that 90% of the world has changed. They can't understand that they thought they was the best and can do things better. And now they found out they was wrong. Now they found out that they was going to be the minority. And they can't believe that these ignorant niggers and the Indians, those savages, and those wetback Mexicans, how in the world could they bypass us like that? Why in the end, in the white supremacist last days, we just now waking up to we done lost 90% of the world population. And in America, the very people that you said was ignorant and stupid, couldn't vote, couldn't own land, didn't want us to read and write. Those same slaves is the women, the black women is the most educated people in America. See, that's how God works. That's how God works. The black men, drug addicts, alcoholics, or just lazy, getting women pregnant and leaving. But women held strong. They focus on getting the best education that you can get, because they knew that a time like this was coming. See, we don't have to believe in violence and resort to violence like the president and the vice president and this weak defense secretary, Pete Hegseth. He brought all these people together so he can tell them that we're going to go to war with the American people. They told the National Guard when they go into Oregon, Portland, Oregon, that they can use any force necessary. So he telling the National Guard that they can kill the people in Portland, Oregon. They can use any force necessary. And he telling these generals, if you don't like it, if you don't want to follow orders, you can just pack your bags and get out of here. Because we done already made up our mind what we gonna do. 77 million people on November 5th sold their soul because they thought they was gonna get a rebate check. They thought they was gonna get no tax on their tips and no tax on their Social Security. But what you got was a big tax cut for the multi-billionaires and millionaires, and then you got your taxes raised. That's what a tariff is. It's a tax. I know what a tariff is, and you do too. You need to quit lying like you don't. You pay taxes every day when you go to the grocery store. Every day when you go to the gas station. Every day you pay your phone bill and your light bill and your internet bill. You pay taxes on everything on your house, on your car. That's why you get a tag. It's a tax. You can't lie to me. And you can't lie to God. You might as well admit you're a bigot. Everybody know you're a bigot. If you got the number one economy in the world, and you got your next number two competitor, China, that's only worth $17 trillion. So we got $7 trillion more in our economy than China do with less people. Donald Trump lying, and people sitting there that's educated act like they don't know he lying. Everybody know that Donald Trump ain't bringing in no $17 trillion. $17 trillion is the total economy of China. China's got over 1 billion people, and our economy is only $17 trillion. Trump talking about in 9 months, he done brought that in already. Everybody know it's a lie. I'm calling you a liar. I'm calling, you know good and well that you know that Donald Trump ain't called in and made no $17 trillion in 9 months. You ain't gonna talk that stuff, and you ain't fooling God, and you ain't fooling me. Anybody that believes that shouldn't be in charge of nothing. They shouldn't be around no schools. They shouldn't even be around children because you're too ignorant. That you let that man sit there and look you in the face and tell you that he brought in 9 months $17 trillion when you know the whole economy of China with over 1 billion people, you know ain't got no economy that big. He should have been ran out of office just for sitting up there lying to you to your face and you sitting there laughing and clapping. Pete Hegseth is talking this mess to these generals when he know that these generals can take him out anytime. Some of them generals been there 50 years, 40 years, 30 years. And this young newscaster is going to walk around like a peacock. That's why, see, that's discipline. See, they don't have to show their power. They already know that they can just knock this man off if they wanted to. They already know he that's bloviating. He that's shooting hot air out when he really ain't nothing. They sit there just as cool, like, okay, boy, you know, keep it up. Now let you listen to this crowd.
Because the era of the Department of Defense is over. You see, the motto of my 1st platoon was those who long for peace must prepare for war. This is, of course, not a new idea. This crowd knows that. The origin dates to the 4th century Rome and has been repeated ever since, including by our first commander-in-chief, George Washington, the first leader of the War Department. It captures a simple yet profound truth. To ensure peace, we must prepare for war.
And American people, when he say to ensure peace, that means they got to go to war and beat the countries that they feel threatened by. That's what they mean. What do you think peace through strength means? It means that you wipe them out before they wipe you out. That's what they did to the Native Americans. That's what they did to the Mexicans. That's what they did to the Spaniards. That's what they did when they went to war with their own country with Britain. That's what they did in the Civil War. That's what they're preparing for now. But God is not going to let it happen this time. God have gave us weapons. God have gave us money. God have gave us training. God have gave us educations. It's not going to happen this time, Pete Hegseth. See, you living in the past. You must think you in the 1700s. That cocky talk you doing. That cocky talk you doing ain't gonna get you nowhere. You ain't scaring no black and brown people. You ain't scaring some white people. Your blood runs red just like mine. You only talk like that because you're so scared. If that's what you want, if you don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. But if that's what you want, that's what, you don't act like you're the minority. Just keep on thinking that you better than somebody else. Just keep on. Black and brown people know who you are. Black and brown people know what you're capable of. We done had 400 years to study you, to understand you. Whenever you losing, you want to start a war. But you're going to lose this time. Because God is with the black and the brown people. Jesus is going to lead the black and the brown people. I've never seen the righteous forsaken. Pete Hegseth is going to put a lot of gravestones up on some white boy's head. And Pete Hegseth ain't going nowhere to fight. All he gonna do is go down his bunker. That's all Trump gonna do is go down in his bunker. That's all J.D. Vance and Congress, that's all they gonna do is run down in they bunker. All these 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, they all gonna die in droves. And the only thing they dying for is white supremacy and prejudice. You're going to let your son and daughter die for an unjust cause, for somebody that's going against our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.